Dang. Oh, that's dope. That flame is back there on fire. It's fire. It's going crazy right here. That's dope. It is like this huge flame. It wasn't like that at first. Oh shit. We are. Motherfuckers hating on my son and me, stalking us like we're animals, coming for me every day. Stalking, follow, ganging up on me, hoping that I would give up in the reality. Trying to take us out, niggas. Follow us around, sprinkling shit. Y'all should see this flame back here, yo. And it was like this tiny flame at first. Now this thing is like, I started this thing is huge. And it's like dancing. I don't know if it's because I'm dancing. This shit is huge. I'll show you. Victorious BND. What you know about this, girl? Your mama screams, motherfuckers. They want to come for me. They want to come for you. You know what I'm saying? Trying to poison the bitch. Trying to poison the bitch, nigga. You trying to poison the bitch. Cursing them all, saying, They asked for this. I don't care if they white. I don't care if they old, bitch. I don't care, whatever. You should be stupid niggas. Bring your old decrepit ass. You deserve what I'm putting on you. Victorious BND. We are victorious. Taking suckers. Let me tell you something. Now Darrell's in there dancing. Oh my gosh. Crazy and shit. You know? This is crazy. This shit is nuts. And see, it's everyday shit that they look to take advantage of. Oh, but I've been studying the art of war as well as body language. So that's why they want you distracted. See, I done figured all this out. If they can get you flustered, distracted, and the thing, you know, because you can't. How can you? You know? Or on top of that, it's kind of like if your natural state of being, you know, you're floating fairy. You ain't from this ratchet ass shit that are corny and motherfucker. Anyway. Oh. Anyway. So they bank on that. And then they bank on all of your tendencies. Okay? Who are the last people on earth? I've been schooling y'all for some time now. Who are the last people on earth that folks will look at as a villain? They would expect me to look for thugs. They know that chances are you send some thug looking motherfucker, bitch, then I'm already gonna have my antennas up. Just because of the look. I know it's wrong and it's stereotypical, but they do. They expect that my first target in terms of trying to suspect who's up to shit or who is possibly up to shit will be looking at street niggas. Street niggas and street bitches. They think that I want to look at white people. Oh, I looks at white people. White people, you know, with money. Because see, should I say this? Anyway, they think I'm not gonna look at white people with money or old, little nice, oh honey, like they think that I'm not gonna suspect, but that's not what I'm on anymore. Now I'm just putting a universal, I got universal spells going. Because who got time to figure out all that? Nobody's got time for that. So I just decided. I was like, fuck it. Ain't nobody got time for that. If they're innocent, no one has nothing to worry about. If they're guilty, they got everything to worry about. The end. Shit, fuck it. I'm done. The end. Okay? Because you kind of being creepy. I called a bunch of them today. Bunch of them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Busted. Right? Moving funny. Being weird and creepy. Even when I pass by, do not touch me and do not touch my son or I will curse your hand. To have to get cut off. Yeah. Shit, fucking with me. Curse your hand to fucking have to get cut off, bitch. And fucking touch him. I will curse your hands. I will curse your feet. Sprinkle something and I will curse your fucking head. You wake up. Crazy asses. What kind of motherfuckers do that? See, I talk this way because people got their head in the cloud or they up their ass. Too scared to you know what I'm saying, to admit that whether you want to say it out loud or not, this kind of corruption exists in plain sight. The whole thing trying to stop me this whole time, it wasn't just about trying to stop on a very surface childish level for those that are on that level. It was about because not wanting me to have success. You know, those that are really kind of stuck on that whole, I want them to be seen as a loser and as, you know, a wanderer, a vagabond, and as somebody, you know, those are the children in adults' bodies with fancy shit. But for those that it's really something even deeper and more sinister and more heinous in nature, it's didn't want me or my son to exist. Wanting to have what is ours, which is our energy. See, our energy is ours. Our connection to source light is ours. All not wanting us to live. Wanting us to either be their battery source or dead. To, you know, have us basically restricted in some kind of prison or prison-like environment so that they can continue to harvest and do their weird, raggedy, supremacist, crazy, retarded ass, dumb motherfucker, need to be cut open and study, fake save, fake spiritual, fake philanthropic motherfuckers. If they were any of those things, they would have had some kind of empathy and compassion for him and me. So they all can suck it. And when we won't die off easily, when we won't just die, when we won't just go away and comply, when we won't just lay down and shut up and take it, when we won't just be quiet and cease to exist, when we won't just do that, then they persist. And now I Now I persist. These are the kind of people that take advantage of vulnerability. Oh, they're starting their life over. They ain't got nothing. They don't got no resources to take care of themselves. Go to town with spell work. They're relocating. They don't have nothing. They don't have nothing, nobody. So let's go to town with our rituals. And then we can get some kind of power of attorney. We can get them institutionalized, hospitalized. We can get them, you know what I'm saying, labeled as, you know, unfit and so forth, and, you know, get the kid in the hospital, and, you know, we can co-create that. We can manufacture that in this environment. Who thinks that way? A sicko. Let me tell y'all something else that I've learned of how they take advantage of the 3D matrix and programming, and how they take advantage of rules and regulations. See, when you're on a journey and you're trying to become a better version of yourself and a better person, one of the things you're going to, you know, start to do is you want to be an upstanding citizen. You want, you know, you're wanting to do the right things. You're no longer looking. So they use that against you. And in order to have coercive control, then they will start implementing rules and ordinances or certain things so that you can just go, oh, well, that's the rule. Fuck no. They themselves don't hold to nothing. I guarantee it. They don't hold to shit. Except for their agendas. So in order to make you feel like you have to, you know, let me just give an example for fun and shits and giggles. Let's say you're in the corporate world or the business arena, and let's say it's massive. And let's say, you know, it comes with a lot of stuff. And, you know, maybe somebody is not really fit for something, or maybe there's been a lot of complaints about a person, right? And instead of, what they'll do is something like this. You know, first and foremost, if they get frustrated, if they don't want to have to deal with it, if they don't feel like needing to truly assess the situation and accept it for what it is, even if it means they may have a temporary loss and they may have to seek some kind of replacement, instead of doing that, they just go, okay, you know what, let's just leave it up to them to work it out amongst each other. We really want to encourage that you all are able to work things out with each other. Now, that sounds pretty. I think it sounds pretty. And I think it sounds PC. And I think it sounds like it's encouraging collaboration. But I see through the bullshit even in that. Because that makes absolutely no sense if the problem is with the person. And it's an assumption that people have not attempted in their own way to remedy something to start with. So how many remedies, what is your standard? There needs to be 6 attempts, bitch. You know, like, what is that? And it's that pass the buck. We don't feel like dealing with this because it's going to take a loss and we'll have to, yeah. I'm just using that as an example. You know, these are ways to make people feel like they have no other option because we just established a new rule and a new policy. We established a new rule and policy, and since most people know that if you're the underdog, if you're the newbie, if you're the subordinate, then the favor and the the favor, and the final ruling is going to go in the favor of the superior. And they know that since most people know that, then most people aren't going to even be bothered because they already know where it's going. You see that? Another coercive attempt to get people to comply and conform to something that may very well be harmful and toxic to them, and due to their negligence and their laziness and their bottom line mentality on dollars and figures and cents, okay? Other ways, you know, all of the rules and regulations. Now, listen to me. I'm not saying to become somebody out here to become this radical and just this person who. It's not about trying to buck systems and rules just for the purpose of bucking systems and rules. That's ignorance. That's not balanced. But when this turns into tyranny, micromanagement, and coercive control to the detriment and at the expense of you, this is where it's a problem. Because what I've seen with people in positions of power and my personal experience is they have all altered things when they wanted to. They have all found creative ways when they thought it suited them to creatively bypass something. And see, when people show you that's what they're operating in, let me tell you right there, they have revealed to you who they are. They showed you. Okay? Because there has to be balance in all things, or should I say there needs to be. If you're in a workspace, you should be able to feel comfortable in that environment. And if the leadership is not willing to look at things to be able to get alternative ways for you to be able to still be a contributing member of the company, then that might be a problem. And that might be something that could be taken up with law or with unemployment. Because your health and well-being shouldn't have to be the cost of you need me to stay on this person's team because ain't nobody at nighttime, or whatever. Like these are cop-outs. They're cop-outs. Okay? So this is going to help some of y'all when you click on this someday. It's control, it's coercive control, and it's also to have access to you. And see, one of the things that I've called the most strongest judgment on is that right there. Because that is cult behavior. And so a lot of these companies and businesses and organizations is kind of going to be put on, they need to be schooled if they're not directly involved. Okay? That is cult behavior. When you got people in this world, especially they have massive hirings and shit like that. The new thing now is cults are infiltrating places where there's massive people so they can harvest. Oh, I'm telling. So they're infiltrating call centers, warehouses, to get people to have to be able to have access to people's energy through the phones, through the internet, because the technology is they get to tap in whatever they want to monitor. So while you're sitting there trying to do a job, they're sitting there spilling out spells in your ear. They're putting spells in your ear while you doing a job. To have proximity, because what is communication? It is a two-way connector, right? It's there's a cord, there's a connectivity. And so tapping into that line is so that they can be sitting there doing spells on you while you're doing your job, baby. It's about to get interesting. And then when they don't like you, if they don't like you and you're not compliant the way they want, or they don't really feel like they can get out of you in totality anymore, then what they'll start doing is spelling you out of there. Okay? Causing problems, causing you to get sick so that they can say, you know, for the record, this person has had attendance problems and they're calling off, and you know, and I really wanted something better for them, and so, you know, really it's more that they, you know, they seem to really be troubled and just have a lot on their mind, and you know, so maybe it's just too much. You know, this is not for everyone. You know, everybody can't really handle, you know, this type of work. And so we and that's how they do that. Because hey, everybody's got a breaking point. Even they do. Hence why they got to hide behind everything and everybody and do the shit they do. Yeah, no, they're just jumpy. You know, we are monitoring this call, and you know, they really seem to, you know, maybe they're. Ask them, they would agree, you know, because you know they do it as well in training, and you know they see. This is to get you put in your place, to get you to leave or fired. I'm telling you, there is somebody that has been in the call center arena here recently, maybe in the last few months or so, that was an excellent worker, that was top notch, that was always on, you know, best, you know, stats and just all that. They gone. And this only happened after they went to one particular person's team that just so happened to be connected to a cult leader. And they know that, listen, let me tell you something. They know that when we have gone through a lot, you know, the last thing you want to do is walk away from certain things if you are trying to break certain patterns. So it's kind of like it's a double-edgy thing. Because on one end, people definitely want you to just walk away so that they can say, so that they won't have to pay, or so that they can say that, you know, on another end, they want you to stay so that they can continue abusing you and harnessing your energy. And if they can continue to do that, that's going to affect your own ascension and your healing and your ability to do all of the other things in which you're doing, because you'll be constantly combating or dealing with exposure, proximity too closely, while you're simply trying to do whatever your business or your job is. Also, because, you know, it's knowing your movement. When you're in workspace environments, like I said, that's another vulnerable situation, because those environments have pertinent information. They have your emergency contacts. They have your children's information. They have, you see what I'm saying? When you have a snake in the camp, that puts all of their employees at risk. because employees are on some level blind faith in it, counting on these industries and these companies to have integrity and to, you know, there's a level of trust that's being automatically given, and that's why this is a big deal. These people are parasitical, and they're still looking for ways to sit up here and harness people's energy because they're low lives and they do not know how to evolve and heal on their own. With all of the skill and talent that they have, that's one thing they seem to not have. So they try to force the collective to have to be in the cult environment and to have to be under fake leaders who really don't know what they're doing, and they sitting there wasting time talking about hopscotch. But they want to crap the whip on you like you're some kind of slave. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little bit about Old Bloomy. As a leader, as somebody, it's to me, it's like this. If you get in the trenches, not just, it's not a matter of I was in the trenches and I elevated and got, you know, got promoted. Nah, a legit leader, that don't matter, baby. That don't matter. In order to stay relevant, to stay raw, to stay fresh, to stay humble, and to stay sensitive to their workers, they get in the trenches. Like, okay, if the pressure's on, they get in the trenches. They not just cracking a whip. We sitting on your duff. We, you know what I'm saying? We get in the trenches. Like, I ain't sitting doing nothing here but clicking and red, gray, bitch. Get, you know. A leader, you know, they don't just do reports, and, you know, I get that. You know, I've had the privilege to work with leaders that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they own that. They doing their reports and stats, and, you know, it's about business. But I also equally have seen, you know, them get in willingness, get in the trenches. Not just, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just crack the whip. And we don't care, nobody don't want to hear no cheerleading. I'm just going to say that. So, I'm going to say it. That goes only so far. You know, people that have leadership over them, I'm just going to speak for people who don't maybe want to say it. Okay, it's beyond just giving the praises. That's a step. You know, giving the acknowledgement and the praises and the thanks and the gratitudes, the verbals. That's great. Okay. A gift card, you know, and that's good. But what really sticks is that respect and honor and that empathy and sympathy that comes out in the form of, yeah, I was once upon a time you, so I got respect. Okay, you're on the front line, you're on the front trenches. Okay, I'm sitting here behind here pushing buttons. Okay. You're dealing with energy. You're dealing with people, whatever they're pushing to you through that phone. I'm over here looking at numbers. I'm looking at screens. I'm looking at emails. I may be talking inter-officely. I'm doing those things, but and having meetings, 12 meetings with directors for most of my shift. Y'all, we get in the trenches, bitch. And what's funny is that the flame and that candle that was so huge standing outside of the candle, dancing nutso, it's still big and it's still dancing. But it's like, since I stopped dancing and moving so fast, it stopped dancing. That's weird. Because it was big and going crazy in berserk. But look, that's what I got, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You know, they get in, especially if it's like you know, you read the room, you assess the situation. That's what a good leader, you know what I mean? You read the room, considering yourself, you assess the situation. You look at what your goal is. You look at whatever your superiors have put on you, right? And you look at what your goal is in terms of what you want for your own, you know, and you assess it and you take everything and everybody into account. And then you go, okay, this is exhausting. We're wanting them to be on the phone. We don't even want them to have 2 seconds of breath. We're flip-flopping, we're changing it up. Red, green, red, yellow, red, green. We're changing it up. Don't push it, push it. Don't push the button. Push it if you're sitting too long. It's almost like control over productivity. Because see, at the end of the day, you know, it should come down to that. What is the consistency with productivity? Or is it more about puppeteering because you have a God complex? And listen, this is just, I'm just using these as exampleship. This applies any way it needs to apply. But in my own personal esteem, leaders worth their salt. They never really get past, no matter how many elevations they got, supervisor level 5. Like no matter what has happened, it's like if in the name of caring for their own team, and trying to be more considerate and wanting them to have more momentum and longevity, and you know what I'm saying, and wanting more, what do they call it, morale. It's, hey, you don't want to burn out your people. We don't want to recycle them like we're changing our drawers and just go get some fresh ones when they're burned out, because you know fresh meat come in with all of that excess zeal and energy because they haven't been burned out. We don't want to do that. If this is somebody that is kind of proving their weight and proving, you know, we want them to stay. We want them to want to stay, and not just out of survival. We want them to know by way of the fact that I will get in here with you if, look it. So we ain't all, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna put some of this shit on my back with you, bitch. It's I'm fencing. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what's that saying? I care, it's not just me, baby. This is us. And ain't just me saying, oh, that's great. It's me saying, all right, damn it, God, motherfucker, didn't put it on our ass. God damn it, motherfucker. Shit, God damn it. Gonna put this shit on our asses. All right, team. Okay, coach, could you do this for me? Assistant, could you do that for me? All right, this one. All right, that's great. Okay, because I'll step in. Okay, I done got my reports did. I done looked at the time cards. I done, you know, whatever the supervisor. Okay, I done done that. I'm fencing get on for the last 2 hours, bitch. I'm fencing to roll with y'all. We fencing to do this shit. And see, because the truth of the matter is, most of the time in these big time situations, none of them want to be on phones ever again. Which is fine. But another thing that starts to happen in coercive, controlled environments is they'll try to keep you there. And the only ones that's being granted anything else is usually the ass kissers. Or the ones they like. The ones they share the same spiritual beliefs. The ones that, you see what I'm trying to say? The same culture, the same ethnicity, the same gender. Energy, bitch. Rip that shit off her glasses stick on your forehead. So this is what I want y'all to know when you find this video. Know that you do have choice, and definitely you want to be wise, of course, because this is your life. So navigate, do what you can, see what options and routes. But see, this helps you because if they have to fire you, you know, then there's your payout. If the conditions are such that it creates mental and emotional stress and anguish for you, then there is temporary disability and perhaps even maybe a lawsuit. Because the thing about when you try to remedy things in these arenas and you bring things up, sometimes it just hits and it drops and that's it. But the good thing is that if it comes down to it all, because that's what they're going to ask you guys if that's your situation, okay? They're going to say, if you have to end up going unemployment or something like that, if that's your case, they're going to say, you know, you can't just say, oh, it was a hostile environment, or they're going to ask you to provide some kind of proof. They're going to ask you, did you try to remedy? They're going to ask you if you asked to be moved to a different department. They're going to ask if you asked to get off of the phones, if your life was at risk because you're a survivor of domestic violence or stalking. You know, they're going to ask you if you did that, and that if they said that it wasn't something that was available, that it couldn't be done, then that's going to all be taken into account when they're weighing the final decision on whether or not you get to get approved for compensation. So, you know, you want to do what you can and, you know, be guided because, you know, I'm with y'all. I don't really have any interest in just continuing to put myself, when I know that I'm in harm's way, I don't really have time to be trying to convince people that folks are stalking me. I don't have time to be convincing people that, hey, this has leaked. You have a snake in the garb here. Okay, people have the direct line. It's in the house and it's unavoidable. It's putting me in position to where if I avoid it, then it's like call avoidance or I'm not doing my job. So either something's going to have to change altogether, or okay, because it's you. And see, this is something that I'm learning. It's you. You know, people can sit there and speculate and have their opinions, but it's you that's sitting there and that's absorbing that energy and taking that and having to deal with that and watching the effect on your life. You know what I'm saying? Emotional, psychological. It's almost like being in Scream movie for call centers. You know what I'm saying? Except Ghostface ain't saying, you know what I'm saying, what's your favorite scary movie? You know what I'm saying? They're whispering spells to you while you're trying to do a job. It's tapping into, you know, technology and getting your location. It's using AI voice simulation, forcing you to have to say what your name is, asking you to repeat it like they didn't hear you say it the first time, so that they then can go and hack into your personal shit. And when companies don't want to deal with it, they'll gaslight you. They'll deflect. Try to convince you to just keep on, we'll just keep on. No, this needs to stop. I'm not going to subject myself to this. This is happening. This person knows this person, and I know they know this person. And I told you, this person is a cult leader. This person was behind a part of why this happened. I'm not dealing with, and that's all that I need to know. It's a conflict of interest. I brought this up, and companies are going to be forced to understand that bitches and niggas lie. Integral leaders will be honest and say they shouldn't be a part of my team, or it'll be just and fair because that way there's no partiality here. I don't, let's give them a fair shot, give them to somebody else. I don't need to know their information because there's a partiality here. I know them. Or I dated this lady's ex. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, integral people will do that, but most folks aren't going to do that. Especially if they have a plot where they want to be able to fuck with you and get to you. This is just prime for them. This is just what they've been waiting for. An opportunity to have some kind of leverage and power and control over you. Okay? So, y'all, it's all right. One of the most beautiful things about your journey you'll continue to discover is believing in your luck, the ability to co-create. When you have been compromised and infiltrated by a bunch of weirdness and by trusting the wrong people and sharing information, and you learn these valuable lessons and stuff, you take it with you and you use that as you go on. Knowing that random people coming up to you asking you where you work, you don't tell them. Not when you know you're a targeted individual. You don't tell them. Who are you as to be asking me where I work and I don't know you? You're just somebody sitting in this Uber car, nigga. Who are you? You learn, because that's the name of the game here. Not to be telling people where you live, if they're asking where your children live. No, because again, these are our lessons that we take with us until, you know what I'm saying? Until we can get a grip on things and know what's what, or get some security or bodyguard or whatever. Okay, so boom, I'm done with that. Champagne one more time, bitch. We're gonna done one more time, niggas. Victorious. You trip on me. They not like us. They not like us. Hold up, man. Y'all can't be coming through here like that, homie. Steam through here like y'all been away Spain. Do you know how to do this? It goes like this. Here we go. Like this, sir. Victorious. Mario or someone else? Mario? Oh. Victorious B&D. B stands for Victorious B&D. I'm B and you D. Say what? Victorious. What you know? What the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Talking about the party on the radio tonight, man. You want some tickets or something, though? That's right, man. All right, okay. Yo, kid, no. What, Pop? Right on. That's a cool. Playing that song again? Yeah, one more time. Victorious B&D. Do the crib out. Yeah, Victoria. We're Victorious. Look, do this, girl. Like this. They not like us. 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 Come up me and my son every day.
What up? Indeed.
Victorious we are. Victorious. Trying to keep up with D&D. We are
Victorious.
Victorious. Taking them to school.
Oh, that Nicki Minaj? What?
I think that's brown sugar.
Kind of almost look like Nicki Minaj, I think. Excuse you. Go you. So excuse you.
Victorious. We are.
No.
We are.
We
are.
Victorious. Look at that Michael Jackson. That's the Nick Jackson move.
We are. Victorious.
That's where a new era begins. 2026.
Victorious. Recognize. Coming from me and my son puts a curse on you and yours. You heard?
Who is Victorious?